Hey you guys, Desmond here.
And LaCresha.
And welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 10, Episode 9. We officially have our semi-finalists.
Yes.
Officially. But what did you think of this episode altogether?
It was interesting, to say the very least.
I would say that too. I thought the challenge was cute. But the fighting that two
challenge?
queens kept doing through the whole episode,
That was unnecessary.
I was over it. That's what got me, all that fighting. I'm like, the first one, okay, cute. The second one, all right. But that third one, when they were getting ready, I'm like, let it go.
Look, because I had seen a lot of discourse on X behind certain queens in this episode, and I was just like, I'm so confused right now. Like, why are you upset? This is all about personal opinion, and that just happened to be this person's opinion.
Yeah,
It wasn't like,
we're going to get into it.
Yeah, because the entitlement was irritating.
Yes. So, the queens enter the workroom. They sit down, and they're discussing how they want to give out their points. And Daya decides to bring up a moment from the previous Untucked where Alyssa said she would give her point to the queen who is the most consistent.
Right.
And Daya just wanted to remind her of that before they gave out the points. I'm like, Daya, really, girl? Really?
It's giving some really bad pick-me energy. Like, for real, it's like, so you do know I was on top last week, right? So
I got really good critiques this week. So consistent.
And I'm like, no, there's a difference because you were in the top last week and you're not in the top this week. Therefore, there's no consistency.
I feel like there is consistency because she got great critiques. And the only reason she's in the bottom because of that stupid, if you're not in the top, you're in the bottom. I hate that line. I'm like, girl, whatever. But Ginger Minge and Denali enter the workroom. They sit down and they have some choice things to say to Ginger. Not some. Alyssa has some choice words to say about Ginger. Now, granted, Ginger is in the lead. So I kind of felt like Denali. I'm like, girl, you got 6 points. Shut up. But at the same time, don't come for me. Like, I'm coming in on a high. I'm doing really good job. And you being a sourpuss, hollering, I didn't win the lip sync. And I'm like, well, it wasn't your decision. It was RuPaul's. And apparently RuPaul thought I did.
Exactly.
So I felt Ginger, but I was also with Denali. I'm like, girl, shut up. You're going to the semifinals regardless.
Exactly.
She could have not gotten a single point this episode and still have went to the grand finale. Not the grand finale, the semifinals.
Right.
So, it's now time for them to distribute their points out. And Diabetti gives her point to Cuckoo. Cuckoo, in return, gives her point to Diabetti. Then, Alyssa gives her point to Cynthia, which pissed off Daya. And then Acid gave Cynthia a point, leaving the scoreboard Ginger 6, Cynthia 4, Daya and Denali 3, Alyssa and Acid 1. Baby, she hasn't won a single challenge. But she's in second place right now. That's the level I want to be on, okay? Because I'm glad they stuck with their plan to push a queen. Because they're all like, okay, well, Daya wasn't in that conversation. But the other two were like, yeah, give it to Cynthia. So, I personally like it. It gives a, oh my god, you never know what's going to happen-esque. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, she's about to, she gonna I'm gonna be quiet. I don't want to spoil it for myself. And by the end, what I thought was going to happen did happen, and I'm like, but we'll talk more on that a little bit later. But yeah, Diabetic pissed when Alyssa gave her point to Cuckoo.
Right.
Pissed.
Again, the entitlement is extremely annoying.
So let's get into it. It's the next day in the workroom. The queens come in and we see our updated scoreboard. They get around the table, and Ginger said what she said. She was like, I didn't appreciate that. Nobody celebrated my win. Yada yada. Which is true. I went back and I watched them, like, there was no, oh, congratulations to the winner, you know, like they normally do. And I'm like, come on, y'all. I get it. But let's not be that salty, okay? It's very clear that they want a particular queen to move forward, but we cannot act like this particular queen has not been killing it. Now, if she was bombing everything and they were still trying to push her through, okay, get your pitchforks out.
Okay, what was that one queen? I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute. The from season 1 of Holland.
Which one? The one that... Oh, God. Abby OMG?
Yes. Abby, oh my God. I knew it was an A.
Whew. That baby should have went home early in that season.
Okay.
I want to say, like, the second lip sync, she should have went home.
Yes.
And then got that double save, which was probably the worst double save I've ever seen in my life. I think it was with Mama Queen, if my memory serves correct. But,
I think so.
My God. Rumor has it Holland is going to come back for season 3. It needs a complete refresh. New judges, new head judge, new host, all that.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, so we move on to round 2 of Alyssa Hunter and Diabetic. Now here's the thing. I understood where Dia was coming from. She's like, I've been consistent. I was in the top 2 last week. The first week. I did really good on the second week. And Cynthia has just been doing good. She hasn't reached that top. So, like, I get where Dia's coming from, but I would have let it go after the couch.
The first confrontation.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I would have said something at the couch. I'm like, okay, I see how you want to play. But I would have just let it go. I do love how Alyssa stood her ground. She was like, to me, she has been consistent. And it's my opinion. So, to me, consistency, she gets the point.
Exactly. I mean,
it's my opinion.
That part. It's like, it's her opinion. Look, everybody is playing the game. Everybody is playing a game. There is no need for you to constantly sit here and harp on something that is out of your control, because at the end of the day, your opinion is not her opinion. So yes, Dia, you can sit here all day long. I mean, hey, I do it. I sat here and spent the whole second half of this year taking bullets left and right at my job and having to step up and be part of the whole, like, leadership team and stuff like that. And you know who got the credit for it? The other person who was being in the leadership team. And it was like, oh, well, we'll just have this person come and do this thing. We'll just let that person. So when they sat there and sent out all of the thank yous and stuff like that, guess who got the praise for it? They did. Even though half the time the communication that was happening because of me, not necessarily because of her, because either she would forget something or she wouldn't communicate something immediately, and it would be up to me to go around and do all of that particular communication and all of that, you know, harnessing and, oh, let me get this done, let me get that person in, let me get this thing fixed. And so when they sat there and they gave her all of the congratulations and all the accolades and stuff like that, everybody, like, literally everybody who was in leadership team literally turned and looked at me like, is she gonna go off? Is she gonna be a bitter black woman? And I just sat there and was just like, C'est la vie. It is what it is. Did I put the work in? Yes. Did I show that I could be a leader to some people? Yes. Yes, I did. My classroom management may be garbage, but I'm better with people. But it is what it is.
But yes. So, as the argument was going on, the producer was like, okay, that's enough. Start the alarm. So, the room mail goes off. RuPaul comes in and announces that this week, no mini challenge, that they are going to improv their way through the Golden Bitchelor. They will be portraying different dogs in search for love. So RuPaul told every queen what their dog is, what's their background, what's their story for the improv challenge. And then seeing the outfits, I'm like, I wonder if it was just something they did so that they could bring outfits for them. Be like, hey, you're going to be a St. Bernard, so come, yada, yada. Hey, you're going to be this dog. You're going to be a Chihuahua. You're going to be this dog. Come with a look inspired by that dog.
Right.
Not realizing it was going to be for an improv challenge. But, yeah, so they get here, and let's go ahead and get into said improv challenge. So we're here with Zane Phillips, who is an actor. I saw him in the movie Fire Island. If you have not seen Fire Island, it's on Hulu, I believe. So for all you out there who have Hulu, go watch Fire Island. It's a great movie. It will make you cry. I did not expect that.
I don't have access to Hulu anymore.
Oh, they pissed me off with that.
I was like, wait, when did this start?
I'm serious. You text me as soon as Let It Go was done. I was all in Let It Go world, and I looked down, I'm like, oh, Krisha texted me. And I'm like, no, they didn't.
Because it makes me think, has nobody else in your family watched that particular streaming service?
I guess not. Because the other ones on there, one's my cousin. She gets on there occasionally. She was watching Dancing with the Stars on there. So when that starts back up, that's probably when she's going to notice. And then the other one is my auntie for my little cousins. She has a kids channel for them. My sister, who I think she forgot, had access to it at one point. And then my other sister, who passed last year, her account is still there. So yeah, I'm guessing I'm the only one who still gets on the Disney. I had to watch my girl Ironheart, okay?
I get on there, and the really crazy thing is I was just on there week before last, because I literally sat there and watched all of the Imagineerings and all of behind the attraction for I
wonder
3
if
days
it was
straight.
because we were on at the same time.
Maybe.
Because you tried to get on while I was watching. They said Disney, they said Frozen on Broadway, but baby, that was recorded at the West End. They said it in the little credits at the beginning, so you need to say Disney Frozen at the West End. True theater people will know that's the Broadway for them over there. But anyway, let me be quiet. But let's get back to this improv challenge. We have Zane here. He is the Golden Bitchelor.
Yes.
Please pick up after yourself. RuPaul comes in, who is the host. And now, let's talk about these kids. We're going to talk about them as their individuals, and we can talk about them, with the group as well. But first we had Diabetes, and I thought she did a really good job. And I thought it was funny how she played a miniature poodle.
Right.
And she's almost my height.
Right. And then had them big old heels on, talking about miniature poodle. You are a normal standard poodle, dear.
I love when she was like, oh yes, of course you know who I am. The pleasure is mine. I'm like, okay. But overall, I really thought she did a good job here. I thought it was very consistent all the way through here and through the double date. So, Rudy the poodle. Rudy the poodle. Yeah. So up next we have Alyssa Hunter. She tried.
This is not very good
She didn't give
at
up.
all.
We've seen people give up
No.
in improv challenges. She didn't give up.
Right.
She made me chuckle once.
I'm not quite sure. I think she just didn't have a point of view. Like you could sit here and tell somebody this is what your character is, but you still have to give that character perspective.
And I think
Like
she tried by making it sound like this is work for mommy, but like it wasn't enough.
right. And then you dragged the puppies along. It's kind of weird.
That's what was annoying me the most. Her dragging the puppies along.
Yeah, you dragged the puppies along, and that kind of like took me out of it a little bit because it kind of gave me the ick a little.
Listen, when she came out and the jacket was still fully on, I'm not gonna lie to you, she was giving more touch me, it's so easy to leave me. She was giving more of
And
that.
that's the other thing, because I'm like, you don't look like a dog, you look like a cat.
Honestly, the only with the nipples was the only thing, and even cats, you know. So it's just kind of like, yeah, it was giving more cat. I thought she was gonna come out there and sing us a beautiful song. A beautiful song.
Little Jellicoe cat.
So up next we have Denali, who is Danielle the
Yeah.
Spaniel. Emotional support dog who needs emotional support. Which
Right.
it kind of irritated me during the judges' critiques because they were like, "Oh, well, you seemed like you needed an emotional support dog yourself." I'm like, but that was her prompt. That she's an
Exactly.
emotional support dog who needs emotional support.
Exactly.
Like, Michelle, were you not paying attention to what their backgrounds were?
No.
But I thought Denali did an okay job. The accent was
Yeah,
kind of for me. I can't talk
That was
because my
critique
accent isn't
too,
the
was
best.
like that. The accent was lacking a little bit. She didn't really necessarily look. I understand it's a King Charles, and she fought King Charles. Obviously, it's got to be a British accent. Unfortunately, just because it's a King Charles does not necessarily mean it needs to be a British accent. She could have just straight up, because the first thing I think when I think King Charles Cocker Spaniel is Lady and the Tramp, and guess where that took place? Minnesota.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I'm like, I know it's somewhere in the States. It's somewhere in the States. I couldn't remember where. And the fact that she didn't get the spaghetti moment really burnt my potatoes.
Right?
Really burnt my potatoes. But up next, we have Ginger Mange, a retired first responder who was a Saint Bernard, right?
Yes.
I thought this was amazing.
She did good. I didn't get first responder.
That yeah, the retired first responder part wasn't shining through, but it does give that older retired lady who's just here to drink and have a good time. So I let it slide because I'm like, what is a retired person supposed to do? Have fun.
I got Alaskan Cruise baddie on there. That's what I got. Because that's who takes Alaskan cruises are a bunch of old people 98% of the time, which means I'll be there soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
I wasn't going to say nothing. I wasn't.
You thought it. I thought it. I thought you was thinking it.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. I'm like, nope, I'm going to let her make it.
It's so funny that I said shut up like that, and that stupid Kennedy fan is like in your face.
Mine is still in a box down here. I still haven't set up my office yet. I ain't had the energy to do so. But yeah, Ginger, this was, again, a class act. Like, it was great. I thought
she did a really good job.
She did a really good job at responding and listening. Because when she was talking about being that he could be the stepdaddy, and she's like, well, you could be my, what was she said? She said, you could be my 12th stepdaddy or step 12 daddy or whatever way it was. I almost fell off.
Daddy.
That's
good that I can recall that as much as I've been like half sleep all day.
Yeah. Like, it's just, she's good at improv. She listens and she knows how to respond while staying into character. So, I thought she did great. Up next is Acid Betty as .com. So, I thought this started out great.
Yes.
Like this moment here when she's first meeting Zane. Yes.
Chef's kiss.
But once she had to interact with Cynthia as well, that's where it went down. It was still good, but it went from here to here.
Right.
Because she went from trying to be dominant to submissive. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, you could have sat there and, overtook Cynthia by leaps and miles. Not like necessarily like anybody needed to or wanted to.
Yeah,
but
and I think that's where it comes in that they're friends. So she's like, I don't want to
overshadow her.
I want to make sure she has her moment as well. But at the end of the day, there is $200,000 on the line. But yes, Asa did a really good job. Cynthia Lee Fontaine is next, who was a Chihuahua, Maria the Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. The outfit was a choices that she made.
Yes.
The character had its moments.
Yes.
Again, I think she did better when it was just her and Zane than in the group date. But yes. So we went through the group dates. Some were good, some were bad. We get to the end of the Bitchelor, and right before he announced who he was going to give his big bone to, a squirrel showed up. And they all went chasing after it. The end. So, we're getting ready for the main stage. And normally I don't include this part, but yet again, Diabetes decides to bring up the fact that Alyssa did not give her a point.
Right.
I'm like, sister, at this point, let it go. Yes, I understood it the first time. The second time, I was like, okay, yeah, now that it's happened. Because the first time was before it happened. Second time was after. Okay, cool. But this time here just seemed unnecessary.
It was extremely unnecessary.
I'm like, okay.
Like that harping it brings the entitlement out. Like the first time it's like, okay, I get it. You did well, you did what you needed to do. However, this person thought what they thought, and they acted the way that they acted, and it is what it is. She's already done it. It's already done.
And it's not like she can take the point back and give it to you.
Exactly. She can't sit there and be like, Cynthia, I know I gave you that point a couple hours ago. I gotta give it back so I could give it to Daya, because apparently Daya deserves it more than you. No.
And then she tried to go talk to Cuckoo and be like, listen, this is not saying you didn't deserve it. It was just the fact that she didn't follow the criteria that she set for herself. But then again, like we said earlier, she followed who she thought was doing consistently well. Now, she didn't say consistently well in winning the challenges. She just said consistently well. And Cynthia's done a really good job this season. I want to say this and acknowledge that Cynthia, way better than both season 8 and season 9. Like, this is the best we've seen of Cuckoo. And in different circumstances, she might have been in the top or, got some wins in there. But, yeah, you gotta let it go. Just like we're talking about earlier. What else? Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. I mean, because you're sitting here and you're harping on it for like days on end.
And you could tell Alyssa was over it. You could just see it in her face. She was like, we're doing this again.
Right. And I don't know if that was just Daya's version of like, oh, well, I'm going to make really good TV with this little bitch fit that I'm throwing.
I think it was. Like, I don't think it was that, like, too deep. But she was like, ooh, let's make some TV. But not... It didn't come out as good as we were like...
Yeah, like, okay, I understood you throwing the BFs on your season. Like, those made sense. Kind of. There was still a sense of entitlement there. However, do not make that be your brand. The whole point of people coming on the All-Star seasons are to rebrand themselves. some brands, yes, you can carry some brands of,
I'm gonna say Lydia had no choice but to carry her brand because she came right on back.
Right. I'm like, because you've got the Mayhems and the Lydias through. But then you have, the Rajas and the, other queens who have sat here and been like, okay, this is where I was here. It's been a while. Let me come back and do something a little bit better.
And show you what I can do now.
Exactly. Like, you sat here and I get it. You were under that situation where, everybody kept comparing you to the season 12 queen and da 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 da. And now you're no longer associated or affiliated with that. That's great. And you're like, yeah, I've been rebranded. But unfortunately, you're still bringing the attitude from that season with you. And we would like a clean slate with you so that we can like you and cheer for you. And you sitting here bringing up something 3 times in a singular episode. And I get it that there is editing and all that other lovely stuff that makes it look more than what it is, but the fact that they had enough material to bring it up 3 times in a singular episode.
And I will say this, I still like Daya. I was a big advocate for her during her season because it seemed like everybody was just piling up on Daya for no reason.
Right.
And even this season, there's been a few times where I've seen people say stuff about Daya. I'm like, wait, huh? We're still on this? That was like 3-4 years ago. Let that go. Let that hurt go, baby. Let that go. And I need to check. I believe she followed me on the Instagram. That came out of nowhere. I just got a random notification one day. I'm like, period. I'm going to say I have a handful of the queens who follow me. And I love every single one of them.
Just have the same 2 I've had, but then again, I haven't really been active on social media like that either.
I haven't been active either.
You haven't been active much at all this year.
Honestly.
Like, I think the last time we posted consistently was when we got back DragCon last year.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Just fell off.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. It was around the time my sister passed. I'm like, you know what? I need to put a pause. I'm trying too hard. We're gonna continue to maintain the YouTube, but everything else, I'm just gonna step back, get myself together, and now I have ideas and certain stuff that I want to post, and I'm like, okay, I done got out of the habit of not doing it. I don't immediately grab my phone because I'll think, oh, that'd be a great TikTok for, our joint account. And then I'm like, ooh, instead of grabbing my phone, at least recording my initial thoughts right then and there, I'm like, yeah, that'll be a fun idea. And just walk the other way. So I got to get my brain back into the social media content of it all.
I think I just have to, when it comes to me posting online, period, I think I think I come on the YouTube thing for you, and so I'm just kind of like, my appearance is what my appearance is. Comes to like my own personal brand and things like that, I'm just like, no, I want to look a certain way, I want to feel a certain way. I don't, and I'm like, I
agree
don't
with
feel
that
like
as
I have.
well. I feel extremely uncomfortable on camera. Like, if I were to go back to the Sims content, my face would not be on it anymore.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to film this journey that I'm trying to be on, that I want to be on, knowing full well I'm not going to be good at it. And, it's like all day long I can sit here and tell my students, like, it's okay to not do well on something. It's okay to fail. It's okay that you didn't get it the first time. The only thing you can do is turn around and try again. And I can tell that to my students all day long. And outside of being a teacher, I don't do that. Because, like, every year is me trying again and trying again and trying again with teaching. But as far as doing things for myself and loving myself, which was something we were talking about earlier. Like, it's been a minute since I've loved myself.
And
Like, I don't cook for myself anymore. I don't care what my house looks like. I don't want to go out anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And I'm just like, what was different from the person I was when I lived on Yegua Street in Groesbeck, Texas, and I took myself to Waco to the movies and took myself to dinner because I was just like, no, I'm gonna sit here and love myself. And that was the journey that I was on. And then that was when things were coming to me. And nothing is coming to me. And I know it's because I'm stagnant and I'm in one place. I see all of my friends moving on. All of my friends are all of these people that I was close to. And I'm just kind of like, they don't invite me places. They don't take, and I'm just kind of like, well, I don't really think I'm that much fun to be around. And maybe the toxic person was me. And if I'm the toxic person, then maybe I need to remove myself from the situation.
well, we've been friends for many years now. I can't speak for your other friendships, but you never brought like a toxic environment around me. Because, I'm quick to cut that off. I'm quick.
Yeah.
I'm quick with that.
You for whatever reason, I'm grateful. And you are, at this point in time, my soulmate. The love of my life. And I don't care.
Please. This is a Drag Race review. We're not supposed to cry.
I know. But it's like, I really wish that people recognize that we are all human and that they need to just stop projecting, like, I'm assuming, like, their negative feelings for themselves onto public personas. I mean, because I get it, Daya, you're doing great, and I'm not gonna sit here and take that away from her at all. Like, she is doing very well. But when somebody's like, I get it, yes, you are doing well, and yes, this is a criteria I had for myself as far as judgment is concerned, but because your opinion about yourself is, I'm doing good, I'm doing consistent, so you should give it to me, does not mean that that's my criteria. Oh, okay, so Daya is the standard. No, because you have Cynthia, who has been a humanitarian. She has been auntie for this entire
survivor
episode. Exactly. Now, you can't sit there and let that sway you per se or make that her entire personality. But at the same time, she's come back 3 times now, very humble. She's just like, this is my niece. You are my sister. These are my sisters. This is my daughter. Da 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 da. This is the energy that she's giving off. And if I'm going to go off of...
I saw some stuff online from the international queens. They say Cuckoo's one of the first ones to reach out to welcome them into the Drag Race world. And I'm not going to lie to you. If I was in this bracket, I think every week I would just be giving my points to Cuckoo. Even if I was doing bad, I would have the idea, like, as if, like, we need to push one of us. So I'm going to push Cuckoo.
Right. I mean, because, secretly, did I think that they were going to push Denali? I really did. And I think that still would have been very well deserved to push Denali. But at the same time, I'm not mad that they pushed Cynthia. At all.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either. But let's get to the main stage. Oh, Cynthia came with the John. She said
like, y'all just
she said that's enough.
Stop arguing.
That is enough with the arguing. Quit it. She was probably like us. Like, this is the 3rd time I've had to hear this argument. Stop.
Exactly. Like, I'm over it.
So we get to the main stage where we have the mother of all mothers, RuPaul. What did you think of her ensemble this week?
You know, I have a problem with this fabric.
Uh-huh.
I like the dress, I like the colors, but there's just the fabric. I'm not a big fan of the fabric. It's given like late 80s for some weird reason. Like late 80s, early 90s. I had a dress that had them same three colors on it. A black velvet dress that had little blue and green and purple peplum. This is my favorite dress. Um, Other than that, however, just I don't know. Something's up with her makeup, and I don't know if it's just this picture, or maybe it's just the wig, because we always clock in this wig.
I'm gonna clock it here in a second.
I know.
But what is your
I'm gonna
score
let you have
for
it. But my score, I guess I'll give it an A minus. Like it's not a bad dress.
See, I got tongue tied there. I wasn't after all that. I wasn't expecting you to say.
And that's what I was thinking, because I was just like, I know how to set on this negative stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still a really nice dress. There's something about that fabric I don't like, and I'm not gonna sit here and take off and discredit the cut of the dress. And maybe that might be what it is that was fabric for that kind of dress.
So for me, I absolutely loved this dress. As soon as she came out in, I'm like, yes, ma'am. Again, the wig, just the slightest. Bring it down. So because of that, I can't give it the A plus I want to. So I'm gonna give it an A. But I thought this was an amazing look. So this week we're joined by Michelle Visage, T.S. Madison, and our extra special guest judge, Mayan Lopez.
I don't know who she is.
She's been in something that I've watched before. I meant to look her up and be like, she is in something that I have seen, and I liked her in it, and I want to say she's been on Drag Race before. I want to say. But I believe, if my memory serves correct, she's the daughter of George Lopez.
Because I was going to say Mario Lopez, but that makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. So, the category for this week is...
I see the George Lopez.
The category is paper dolls. So, Roxy St. James.
Yes.
If you got your list and you saw basically a look made out of paper, what would you have done?
See, when it said paper dolls, I immediately to like the late 80s, and I would have sat there and it would have straight up just been a paper doll.
Yeah.
As far as like an outfit made out of paper, I don't know what I really would have made. I probably would have made like a toilet paper bridal gown or something. Some silly mess.
When I first heard
that
paper, my brain went wrapping paper. So therefore, I would have made a Christmas-inspired look made out of paper. I think I would have tried to recreate or reference the Christmas Barbie with the big ball gown type thing going on. I think I would have referenced that or some other Christmassy fun look. And just, made out of paper. Wrapping paper. So let's get into these queens. Up first we have Alyssa Hunter.
Wrapping paper, I want toilet paper.
Up first we have Alyssa Hunter. What did you think of Alyssa and her score? Oh, and your score.
How do I feel about Alyssa's look? I thought this was okay. I didn't understand it. I know she explained it as some type of mask, for some cultural mask, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's nice, but I give it a B plus.
I'm gonna give it an A minus. I thought this was really good, really cute. I've really been impressed with Alyssa's package for this season. Like, the runways have been really well for her. But yeah, I thought this was cute. My only thing is, she's at the school of RuPaul right now. I need that wig to come down. Oh, not that down a little bit.
No, the wig is down. Mm-mm. I think it just looks that way because it's quite literally right here.
No.
Any further, it's going to be on her forehead.
Up next, we have Ginger Minj. Now, I thought this was from a different era than Marie Antoinette. Okay. I guess Michelle thinks differently.
It is from a different era than Marie Antoinette.
I was so confused by that critique. I'm like, huh? Now, I get it towards acid baiting. Now, that was, a Marie Antoinette. But they throw Ginger in there, too. I'm like, no, ma'am, this is a different era. And I felt the same way when she gave, what was that baby's name? Chanel from All Stars 9. When she gave her that critique that was Marie Antoinette. I'm like, no, that was not. But I personally thought this was cute. I didn't particularly care for the makeup, but I know that is a reference. I do enjoy that the dress is made out of paper from Shakespeare's plays, where it references people being in drag. So I thought,
but that would be all of his plays because everybody was in drag.
The dress. So this gets an A for me as well. What did you think of Ginger and her minge?
This gave me Queen of Hearts.
Very much so.
Queen Elizabeth, which is a lot later than Marie Antoinette.
Yep.
Elizabethan fabrics, Elizabethan outlines are completely different than French inspired by, yes. And I think that's where she's getting the whole, similarities from, because, the French would do it first, and you know how we all are, somebody first, and then everybody will copy for years to come after. So, yeah, I get it, it's a French style from the early 1700s, and then Elizabethan came later, 1700s, but bruh. The hair is different. The makeup is different. It's presented differently. This is not Marie. It's not Marie Antoinette. And like I said, if I was going to get anything, I was either going to get Elizabeth or the Queen of Hearts from freaking Alice in Wonderland. Which would have been something I did, and it just would have been a bunch of freaking cards. I don't understand. That was just you have your opinions, just like you don't like the color Celadon. And lime green. I get it. I love the color blue. The only color blue I don't like? Highlighter blue.
I love highlighter
blue. And it just depends. And I mean day glow blue. Day glow blue I do not like. Unless it's an accent color. If it's by itself, no, it is not my favorite color. But I love the color blue. I love any color blue, just not Dayglow blue, unless it is an accent to something else.
I'm the same with orange, but there's no shade of orange I don't like. Every shade I'm like, yes, give it to me.
That's just like with Eeyore stuff. I love Eeyore stuff. I had a boyfriend that heard that I liked Eeyore stuff, and that became my entire personality. Every single gift he would give me would be an Eeyore gift, and I'm just like, you couldn't think of anything else. I like dragonflies. My favorite color is blue. Yes, I like Eeyore, but I do like other things. Like this bro sat here and took me to 5 different malls one year to figure out what Christmas present I wanted. I wanted this pretty blue jacket because that was the early 2000s when the business casual was the club wear.
Yeah.
And I wanted this it was a white blue floral blazer from Old Navy, and I kept going back to it. Got me. Eeyore. This cup, this Eeyore cup from the Disney store that I specifically looked at and was like, no, I don't really.
Listen, I went to the Disney store for the first time a few months back, and that's where I was able to find a decent sized Eeyore because, we went to Disneyland, and all we could find were the little small ones or the backpack. I'm like, no, I want a big ass Eeyore to give my mama because she loves Eeyore too. I walked up in there and saw that big ass Eeyore. I'm like, thank you! She got a little one and a big one now.
Yep, we need to go to the mall next time I'm down there, or I need to find an excuse to come down there and see you. As soon as I have some money, I might just come down there and see you. We need to go to the mall and go to the little teddy bear store. Build-A-Bear.
Listen, there was a Build-A-Bear because we went to the one in Grand Prairie. And they have a Build-A-Bear in their mall, and I almost did it. I'm like, I'm gonna build a bear, but I'm like, no, don't do it, not right now. I'm glad I didn't,
because there's an Eeyore Build-A-Bear that I want to do, and it is the classic. It is the classic Eeyore, not the fantasized Eeyore. It is the classic Eeyore, and I want it.
So, what is the score that you give for Miss Ginger?
I give this an A. As much as my opinions of Ginger a little wavy, I give this an A because it's very well done.
Up next, we have Denali. What did you think of Denali Fox?
That should be her name.
It is. She said it was a reference to her
family
drag
name.
family. And if you look on her social medias, all of them, her ats are Denali Fox. I don't know what made her decide not to have the fox when she came on Drag Race, but she has it. Like, if you go on her Twitter account, it says Denali Fox. So, I don't know what made... Oh, a random memory just popped in my head. I think, I may be wrong, y'all can correct me in the comments, I think she dropped the fox so nobody would think she was related to Jocelyn Fox from season 6. I think I may be wrong. I may have just made that up. I want to say I read that somewhere. But yeah, what did you think of Denali Fox's look and your score?
I loved this. She gets an A+ from me. This was gorgeous, like carnival, Disney light parade quality outfit. Like, in all honesty, and it was extremely unique. And I'm like, that was made out of paper?
How did you travel with
that? That part. How did they travel with any of this stuff? Because
like,
I know that they
had to wrap that like 50, 11 times to make sure nothing went wrong with this one. This was a suitcase by itself.
Look, that was a tote by itself, because they got to be busting some of that stuff there. You can ship stuff to yourself, can't you?
I've been told that Drag Race the past few seasons have been letting them ship stuff now too.
Because I'm like, some of these looks you cannot just like collapse. These are not like the little folding things. And that definitely wasn't. That was a tote.
But Denali's from Chicago. But you can always tell on an All Stars or even a main series when the queen is from California, because they have way more and have more elaborate and beautiful and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, because they didn't have to go through the customs. They didn't have to go through none of that. They just brought their shit. Boom. Here you go.
Exactly.
Because from my understanding, they don't. There is a rule for how much you're supposed to have, but they kind of just, let that slide. Because I want to say it was Lexi Love who said they get like 5 bags that they can bring, and she said she paid for like 2 of them to have 2 extra ones because she could still send them. It's just she had to pay for them and not Drag Race. But I agree with your A+.
My whole thing is I would just get my whole road, and then I would fly in, get all my shit done, and then just drag it on with me.
But I agree with your A+. This was everything to me. I loved it. Up next, we have Diabetes. This gets an A minus from me. I love the creativity. I love the Lady Gaga-esque shoes because it gave me very much rah rah But yeah, I really like this. I like how it's different from everything else. So yeah, I give this an A. What did you think of Diabetes?
She looks like a cockroach.
She does. I see that. As soon as you said it, I'm like, yep, that's a cockroach.
Yeah. She looks like a cockroach. I know you just saw all my skin just go flop, flop, flop in the wind. It's okay. Yeah, I guess it's A minus.
A minus. Moving onwards to Acid Betty. What did you think of Acid and her Betty?
Acid and her Betty. I know she specifically said Marie Antoinette. This is not giving Marie Antoinette to me. This is giving merry-go-round to me. And that would have been a much better thing to say instead of Marie Antoinette. And then Michelle could have sat there and ate her own Manolo Blahnik. I give this also an A minus.
I give this an A plus. I love this so much. It was so cute. I love the boots. I love the hair. I love it all. Acid Betty, we don't talk about this enough, but Acid Betty's makeup is top tier. It's top tier. So
yep, because I was gonna say, like, I'm enjoying the fact that although her name is Acid Betty, and she has the wherewithal, and the mentality to just be dark the whole time. Like, we've gotten a full range of colors, and I really appreciate the pastels on her.
And, you know, we also got it with season 8 as well. And that was something I appreciated because she's like, typically, you know, this is what I'm doing. But, you know, I'm coming to Drag Race. I'm going to, you know, give y'all more so I don't hear that. We need to see range. We need to. So, last but definitely not least. Okay, maybe least. Is Cynthia Lee Fontaine. It's a no for me, dog.
Who looks like the St. Patrick's Day parade float fell on her.
It's a no for me, dog.
I'm gonna have to agree.
Love the story behind it, but no. No, ma'am. No ham, no turkey, no collard greens, none of that.
Collard greens.
So, out of all these amazing queens, who had your favorite look this week?
My favorite look was Denali.
I'm torn. Since you said Denali, I'm going to say Acid because I was torn between the two. So, with you saying Denali, I'll say Acid Betty.
I love how we're just right here.
Yeah, because I was like, but with you saying Denali, I'll say Acid Betty so that they both can get it. So, after the judges' deliberations, we find out that Ginger Minj and Diabetes is the top 2 of the week. Do you agree?
As far as acting is concerned, yes.
I'm going to say yeah. I wish Dia's Runway was a little better, but because Acid started so strong and then dipped, and she stayed consistent, I agree with this top 2. I wish Ginger would have more time to change her makeup, though. Because I've been told they only have like 30 minutes to change for the run for the lip sync, so I'm gonna let it slide. But I wish she would have had time. So they lip sync to a song "Mama Used to Say" by Junior. Now I wasn't aware of this song. Did you know this song? When I tell you I haven't been able to stop listening to it since, I'm like, how did I not know this song? Is the question. And I love that RuPaul, you can see RuPaul was lip syncing along. I'm like, oh, this is one of her songs right here. This was a personal pick. She's like, I need this on the list, please. We can put today's shit on that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I need this song right here. Right now. Thank you. But
budget. What are you talking about?
But Diabetes ate this lip sync up. I couldn't keep my eyes off of Diabetes. I forgot Ginger was up there. I had to go out my way to make sure to get screenshots of Ginger in this lip sync.
Yep, because all I see are diet shots.
Listen, they're mostly Diet, but I'm like, hold on, let me get some Gingers. Because Diet ate that up. She had the energy of the song. Because really, she wasn't doing much more than what Ginger was. But she embodied the song. She was just, I'm like, yes, give it to us. The look
I think
also
there's a
helps.
difference between performance and just enjoying the song.
Understanding the song. Because you could perform any song. But if you don't understand it, sometimes it comes off, Denali would see you again. Let's be real. But when you really embody the song and just go from there, great. So RuPaul decided that Diabetes was the winner of the lip sync. Do you agree?
Yeah.
She won a cash tip of $10,000 and an extra point, leaving the points before the final give out. Ginger with 8, Dia with 6, Cynthia with 4, Denali with 3, Acid and Alyssa with 1. So, our bottom 4 queens come to the front to give out their final MVQ points. They write it down, and we start with Cynthia, who gave her point to Alyssa Hunter, which takes Alyssa from 1 to 2. And baby, you can see the guilt immediately. I'm like, oh, she didn't give her point to Cynthia. You could tell from her reaction, she was like, oh, she probably thought she was going to give it to Acid or something. Baby, Alyssa is plucked here. She's like, I don't know what to do. But we move on to Denali, who gave her point to Acid Betty. Finally, she gets some points, which takes Acid to 2. And she got emotional. I'm like, oh, it's good. You know, I always like to see the human side to the people on reality shows, because sometimes you come in and you're the character. So it's nice to see, some of the person that Acid really is, just squeak out a little bit here at the end. So Alyssa gave her point to Denali, which took her up to 4 points. And baby, she didn't want to do it. She was upset. Cynthia was like, baby, I already know you didn't give it to me. Go ahead, say it. I ain't gonna be mad.
Right.
She was like, go ahead and do it.
I mean,
and then she wants to apologize to Cuckoo. She's like, no, Denali deserves a point. Don't apologize for it.
Because here's my thing. Because I gave you my point last week. Now, it's not like I'm sitting here and this is how I'm taking stock of things. However, like, Denali has done pretty well.
She has.
And I think because like I said, like, am I mad that Cynthia got pushed through? No. I really think Denali could have took it. But I'm not mad that Cynthia got pushed through.
But the
way Acid was talking last week, I really felt like their choices as to who they wanted to push through were going to be between Denali and Cynthia.
And speaking of,
and if Denali hadn't won, I think Denali would have pushed through.
Mm-hmm. But after that left Cynthia and Denali tied for 3rd place, which left the final point up to Acid. And I knew from the jump she was going to give it to Cuckoo, which bumped her to 5 points, meaning Cynthia Lee Fontaine has made it to the semifinals without winning a single challenge.
A single solitary challenge.
And this is the type of tomfoolery I wanted this season. I'm like, I want someone who had not got any wins. It's strictly there because of the MVQ points, and it happened.
Exactly.
Now, do I feel bad for Denali? I do, because honestly, looking at this group, I saw Denali making it past. So the fact that she didn't, I was like, oh. But at the same time, I love the idea of anybody can make it through with these points. Anybody can. And it just showed that Cynthia can. Now, hold on. It's official. we now have our 9 semifinalists. From bracket 1, we have Irene the Alien, Bosco, and Aja. From bracket 2, we have Georges, Lydia Butthole Collins, and Mistress Isabel Brooks. And from group 3, bracket 3, we have Ginger Minge, Diabetes, and Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Now, is this the top 9 you expected when you saw that big ass cast of 18 when it was announced?
No.
For the most part, about a good chunk of it I did see. I wasn't sure that Lydia was gonna make it. I wasn't sure about Cynthia and maybe even Dia, just based off of past. But to see them here is anybody's game. Honestly, if somehow Cynthia Lee Fontaine wins this season, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't
be mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at it, and I'll be running on the streets barefoot, and y'all know I got 10 feet. I'll be like, Cuckoo won! She did it! And I want her to make it to that top 8 without winning any challenges. Just straight winning them lip syncs. She'll be the first American to win without having any challenge wins. Because, we've seen it twice. Once in Italy and second time in France. But yes. So, RuPaul then lets the bottom 4, the eliminated 3 queens, know that this isn't over. There's still a lottery system that's going to happen right before the top 8 lip sync for the crown. So, any of you could be entered back in the competition. So, we now have our top 3 for this bracket, which was Ginger Minge, Diabetes, and Cynthia Lee Fontaine. And just like with every other one, out of these 3, LaCresha, who do you think could take the crown out of these 3 queens?
Depends on what Ru is looking for.
I'm writing down mine because I already know.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Ginger.
So is that your official pick?
Unfortunately, yes.
I have to agree. As much as I would love to write down Cuckoo, I'm trying to get these points. So I think that out of the 3, Ginger has the chance to win. And honey, it's her 4th time. I wouldn't be mad. I'm like, go and give it to her. She did great 3 out of 4 times. So because All Stars 2 was not her best. But season 7, All Stars 6, and now All Stars 10, she killed it. So I wouldn't be mad. So your official 3 that you have out of the semifinalists that you're going with are Bosco, Georges, and Ginger Minge.
I put Georges last week? What the fuck is wrong with me?
And then for mine, I put Irene the Alien, Georges, and Ginger Minge. So the queens dance the night away. And next week, we get an all-star glow up in the middle of an all-stars. But yeah, everybody's back.
It's giving COVID season on UK.
Season 2, yeah. Halfway through, everybody came back, and I'm like, oh, snap. But yeah.
Somebody got some work done.
And it looks like there's going to be a Ginger versus Mistress beef going next week. And the Snatch game. I'm here for it. And then we see Raven in dark mode, and Raja's going to be there. So I'm super excited to see them. And I believe that is all we have. So, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Nope.
All right, tell the children where they can find you.
You can find me at Christian McGill. That's CRESA on social media.
And you can find me in the club, talking for the mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SimplyDesmond. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.